in UK or in Australia. So we are blessed with Sri Lankan doctors of very high caliber. And in terms of nursing care, this is an area that we focus a lot. We do have our own nursing school, which we have been operating and which is also approved by the government. We also carry carry out the identical government nursing curriculum there, and so this is one area that we focus in getting qualified good nurses into the system. But also we focus in getting government trained nurses. So if you really see the nurses mix that we have very qualified nurses, and also we have continuous training for the nurses that we have, and this is an area of focus. And we are also currently focusing on many quality aspects. One of the objectives that we will have in the medium term is to go for the National Quality Award. Already the Lanka Hospital's laboratory is the only ISO 15189 accredited laboratory in the country. So it speaks about our strengths in these areas. And even for the doctors, even for the medical officers, you know, we have continuous medical programs. And education is one area that we are focusing a lot, and probably in the future we may also go into other areas. Probably we might have a partnership with a foreign university in focusing on paramedical and degrees for the nurses. These are in initial discussion stage.
Okay, so we are speaking to Mr. Lakith Peris, Chief Executive of the Lanka Hospitals. We will take a small break and we will be back with you soon. Stay with us.
Hey, hey, hey! You're watching Prime Sunset. All you gotta do is call us out to 75283.
That's why it'll never work. You have me suicidal.
Maybe have a small chat with us.
So how was the challenge?
You don't know what's going to happen the next day.
Are we going to sit down and wait for the right time?
Who was your leader?
I always competed with myself.
I knew insurance was tough.
Never thought the whole thing.
The round table on Prime TV.
Welcome back. You're watching Ayubowan Sri Lanka, and we are with Mr. Lakith Peris, the Chief Executive Officer of the Lanka Hospitals. So the Lanka Hospitals initially was very well known to us as the Apollo Hospitals, and then we discussed the story as to how it became the Lanka Hospitals and the reason behind the brand change in the branding strategy. And he was also saying to us that it was a very crucial decision that had to be made, and actually there are results and it's paying off. And they also said it was due to the fact that the major stakeholder was the insurance corporation, and due to the Supreme Court order, it had to go back to the most of the shares went back to the government sector, state sector as well. And as a result of that, they had to come to the point of changing the brand name, because there was also no point in going on with the Apollo contract, that the royalty which was almost going to expire, and there was no extra value that was going to be added to the whole process. And the invitation by the board of directors to the chairman, Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, according to him, he thinks is a very strategic move, because he's in a position to make bold decisions, to understand that the hospital can actually be the national health provider in the country eventually, and also to position themselves as the best hospital in the South Asian region, so where Sri Lanka can also be a health hub, which will also facilitate medical tourism. So these are the plans that and the vision and the mission that the Lanka hospitals have. And his message to the public also was that to come experience the facilities and the services that they can offer, because they have three categories of doctors: the expatriate doctors, who they have also been having a rapport with from the Apollo days, and also the hand-picked selected medical practitioners who are working on a full-time basis, and also the other consultants. And also, according to him, it is, if you take the room charges and the hospital charges, it is the lowest in the compared to the other private sector hospitals. So this was the summary of the discussion we had so far.
That's
and
right.
Also, Mr. Peris, I also wanted to ask you an important question. That is, do you have space for expansion within the hospital premises right now? And do you have plans to go out of Colombo, that is to say, have branches, so that these services can be enjoyed by the public outside Colombo in a more convenient manner?
Yeah, good question. Yes, we do have one of our major plans this year in 2010 is to increase capacity in the existing location, and you will see that we will increase capacity this year at the flagship hospital. And also our medium-term plan is to set up a chain of hospitals. The objective behind this is to take quality medical care, medical solutions to people living outside Colombo at an affordable price. So these are very much in the plans.
And the other question also, I was thinking that there are many patients in Sri Lanka also going abroad, that is sometimes to India. We find many patients going to India and also to Singapore and other countries. So do you think with the services you all are trying to accommodate in your system that this number will reduce? Is that an idea?
Definitely. This number will reduce due to a few aspects. Number one is that we are focusing a lot on the medical area in the sector, and we will be coming up with many centers of excellence where the medical care and the clinical outcomes are going to be on par with international standards. That is number one. And number two is, like I told you, there are unmet needs right now in the hospital sector. This is the reason why people choose to go to places like Singapore. But since we are taking our hospital into a whole new dimension, a whole new level, we believe that there'll be people who used to go to these countries will now turn back and have their services from Lanka hospitals. So these are two main reasons why people go there. Number one is because of the luxuries that have been provided by certain countries, and also because of the medical advancements of some of these certain countries. So these are very much the two areas that we are focusing right now.
And then if we look at the Lanka hospitals and the healthcare sector in Sri Lanka, what are the challenges do you think our healthcare sector face?
Well, the healthcare sector, if you really say, is a growing area, and this is the reason why you see